Good afternoon, students. Yeah, we will continue with our unit 3 today. Fine. So the what topic we're going to see today is the collaboration diagram. Fine. This falls under the category inside the category interaction diagram. So we have seen the concept of dynamic diagrams. Fine. So in this we saw about what is interaction diagram. So what is the types of interaction diagram? One is sequence diagram, and another one is collaboration diagram. Sequence one is over. So we saw only one a big example for sequence. Okay, later we'll be seeing the more examples for sequence also. So we will see the concept of collaboration, and then we'll be going into the example part. Right. So we call this is also a type of interaction diagram. So here we will see how these objects are going to be interacted. Fine. So simply to say, we don't have that much difference between the sequence and the collaboration. A very mild difference are there. So we are going to see the concept and what and all we need to draw this collaboration diagram. Fine. So here if we can tell this sequence diagram like it's going to have an interaction between the objects alone. Fine. So in our sequence also we'll be having an interaction between the objects and all. Okay, here also we'll be having the interaction between the objects. Okay, so but in what way the interaction happens here? Fine. So here we'll be having a group of objects. Fine. So it somewhat like it will be looking like this is what your collaboration diagram. You can see I'm having so many objects here. Fine. So I have some 4 objects. Fine. Elevator, cabin, light, door. This is what my objects. So I'm going to make a group, okay, by giving the links to the objects. Fine. So there will be a relationship between the object by providing a link. Okay, then I'm trying to pass a message between these objects. This is what your collaboration diagram will looks like. Fine. So we don't if you're going to see this difference between the sequence and the collaboration. In sequence we have an object lifeline. Fine. So we have a proper sequence of this message flow, but you can see here we don't have a lifeline at all for an object. Fine. We are trying to group all the objects based upon the concept, and we're trying to give a relationship between the objects alone. That is the concept of the collaboration diagram. Fine. So we will see the purpose of this collaboration diagram. So what is the main purpose of it? Okay. So we're trying to making the visualization more clearer for the objects. Fine. So we're going to give an extra additional features to the objects. A clear view of the objects and the relationship. For this, we are going for this collaboration diagram. Fine. So we are not going to see about the what is the object lifeline and what is the other stuff of the object. Nothing we are going to see. So you're going to see the how way the 2 objects are related to one another. Okay, so what messages has been passed between them to make the relationship. Okay, for that we are going to use this collaboration diagram. Fine. So how to say, we call this as interaction, all those things. This is the exact definition of this collaboration diagram. Let me take a pen. You can see this. So collaboration is nothing but a set of objects and their interactions in a specific context. Fine. So we won't be talking very generally. So whichever is very important, that objects alone I'll be taking, that alone I'll be making a group and I'm making an interaction among the objects. Fine. So when I'm telling this interaction, what way I'll be interacting when passing the messages between the objects. Okay, to produce a result for us. That is what the a goal of this collaboration diagram. Fine. I think it's clear what is a collaboration is nothing but I'll be grouping the objects. Fine. And I'm creating a link and I'm trying to pass the information between the objects. Fine. So the diagram, it won't be we can draw in any way actually. Okay. The objects can be placed here and there. Fine. So I need to give a link. I need to put the messages here. But that is not in the sequence diagram. Okay. The objects should be come one after the another. Fine. The sequence of the flow of the messages should be in a order, time order. We can say that. But so that is missing in this collaboration diagram because we are not bothered about that sequence and all. We are bothered about this object relationship alone. So we don't care about that flow of my messages. Fine. That is the unique feature of this collaboration diagram. Fine. So next one is, so what and all elements is needed to draw this? Fine. So we need three major elements. We call it as a major elements here, like objects, links, and messages. Fine. So this is what the representation, we will be, we can add an actor also here. Like in sequence diagram, I'll be adding an actor. For example, we saw an example yesterday, like an taking an amount from the ATM. Fine. So here the actor will be the person who is going to take the amount. Fine. So you'll be using a symbol for an actor. In the collaboration also, we can use this actor symbol wherever we require. So, and other than the actor, we'll call them as an object. Fine. Then I'll be using an association. It's a line, just a line. It is going to link two objects. You can see there is no arrow in this line. Okay, it's going to be just a straight line without an arrow. And how do you pass a message? Obviously, I have been using a arrow. We have different types of message passing, and above the arrow, I'll be mentioning what message it is. Either it's a function or it's a return or whatever might be. Right? So this is what the elements we needed to draw the collaboration diagram. So well-known thing is your objects. What is that object? Is nothing but more specific system. I'm calling here as an object here. Okay. So I'm replacing the object with a rectangle box. Fine. So we have two contents inside this object, as we said yesterday. So what is the thing we need? We need a name along with a type. Fine. We need a name, colon, type. This is what you saw yesterday in the sequence diagram, a name along with the type. Okay, here the name tells about the object, this type tells about the class actually. So always you'll be using a lowercase for mentioning the object name, and it starts with an uppercase for a class name. This. Fine. So this is the way you will be writing an object, the same thing as your sequence diagram. Fine. Both are optional for us actually. Any one can be used, either an object name or a class name can be used. Fine. So we saw three different ways of using this or writing this object. Okay, one, using only the object name. Second, using only the class name. Okay, when you're going to write only the class name, you have to specify this colon, and then you have to write the class name. Okay, and third one, I can mention both the object name as well as the class name. Right. So same like your sequence diagram, we have this object representation in your collaboration diagram also. Next, so here they are just dividing this object concept into two types. Okay, one they are calling it as supplier and client. Okay, we have two types, supplier and client. Okay, so nothing but supplier is nothing but they are going to receive messages. Okay, from another object is called as supplier object. An object, when you're going to receive a message from another object, that object is called as an supplier object. Okay, so what is this client object? An object is going to pass a message or send a message. That particular object is called as a client object. Fine. So like you can say it like a sender or receiver. We are talking in a technical term like supplier and client. Fine. So you'll see the representation of an object of this collaboration. See, I'm having a small example here. Fine. So I'm just talking about the representation, not about the concept, how we are drawing it. Fine. You can see I'm using an actor. Fine. And I'm using three objects like UI, transaction, and fine. These are my objects. Inside the objects, I'm using a dot UI. This tells me I'm using a class name. Not dot, sorry, colon UI, then colon transaction, and colon fine. So these are my class names. Fine. And you can see I'm using a straight line. This is what the link we call it as. Okay, so which is going to connect all the objects and the actors. Fine. Then I'm using an arrow. Above the arrow, I'm passing a message. This is what my message here. Fine. So we have so many things here. This is nothing but a self message. If you're having a line like this, I'll call this as like a self loop or self iteration or self message. Fine. So here in this example, we will see what is that supplier and what is the client. Okay, you can see here this transaction is receiving an object, okay, from the UI. So I'll call this transaction as a supplier because it's going to receive. Fine. So when I'm going to compare this fine transaction and fine, okay, so what happens here? So again, I'm having this fine object here. So now this fine is a supplier to the transaction client object because fine is receiving the messages from the transaction object. Then now I'll call this transaction as a client. Okay, so when I'm comparing this and this becomes my supplier. When I comparing transaction and fine becomes the supplier. So nothing but a sender and the receiver. Fine. So this is how the we are going to draw the diagram like this only. Fine. We will see all these terms and all. Don't worry. What is this? Like a create, like 1.5, and all those things. Fine. Links. Okay, as I said, nothing but a plain line which is going to connect the objects. Fine. So this is going to enable the relationship for us. Fine. So we'll be using a single line. Okay, always make a note in collaboration diagram. When I'm using a link, I can pass only one message. I'm sorry, I can pass one or more messages. I'm sorry, I got confused with the sequence. In sequence, you can say I can pass only one message between these objects, but in collaboration, I can pass more messages. A good example you can see here. Here I'm having this transaction as an object and file as an object. You can see I'm having two messages here. Fine, but this is not possible under your sequence diagram. Fine. So per link can hold many messages. Okay, that is a concept here. So that is what I'm written. That is what is given here. Like you can see here a straight line between two objects and all those things. Okay, this is a link. That is what the given here. Visual representation of a link is a straight line between the two objects. The same thing what I said. Fine. So here this line tells the loop icon. Okay, loop line. Okay, it's going to repeat and again, so I'm giving a loop symbol for it. Fine. So this is what the meaning of link. And next we'll go for messages. So we saw plenty of message types while drawing the sequence diagram. Okay, so here also we have a very different message types. Fine. So we are passing, when I'm going to give a link, obviously we have to pass a message to two objects. Okay, to the supplier as well as to the client. Fine. So we will see the types of messages. Fine. So here the specific thing is more specific is one link can have one or more messages. That is what the more specific here. Okay. And one more thing here is in collaboration is we have to specify the sequence number. It's very must for us. Okay, but in our sequence diagram, that sequence number is an optional one. Yesterday while drawing, you can see I was just doing that sequence number. So the sequence number is optional one in our sequence diagram, but this number is very important for us in our collaboration diagram, like 1, 1.2 and all those things. Fine, that is one difference. Okay, we saw two difference. The first difference is in sequence diagram for one particular link, only one message can be passed. In collaboration diagram for one link, I can pass two messages. Okay, and the second point is in a sequence diagram that and I'm going to pass a message. Okay, with no need to specify the number for each and every message. Okay, because obviously the messages will be in order one by one, so no need to specify that number. Okay, but in collaboration diagram we have to specify this number. It's must. Fine. So that is what called as flow by number. We can see 1, then 1.1. Fine. Here this 1.2. Again, this goes there. Okay. So we are just arranging the objects like not in order. Okay. So this number tells us that after this is going to happen. Okay. After 1.2, what is 1.2? What will be there actually here? 1.3 is not there, I think. So 1.13, 1.14. So we have so many divisions. 1.2 is going to be the end one. After 1.2, 1.12 is also there. This is going to be last one actually. Fine. So after 1.1, okay, then 1.2, then so see, we have so many subdivisions here. We can see 1.1.3, 1.1.4. Fine. So to make this what to say, to have the flow, we are using this sequence number here. So this sequence number is must in our collaboration diagram. Okay, in some softwares, when I'm using this numbers will be generated automatically for us. Fine. So that's it about the message passing and how to indicate the numbers for the message passing. Don't worry, we'll see an example clearly and we will number it properly. I have taken an example to show you this is what that mean number. Fine. You can see here I'm just giving a flow of number like 1.1, 1.1.1 and all those things. You can see here 1 is here, 1.1 is here actually, but 1.1.1 is somewhere here, which happens between these two objects. Fine. So this is the way I'll be writing it. Fine. I can add how many like a subdivision I want. Fine. Based upon the problems. Next we'll go for the message flow. I will have a quick recap of our sequence diagram message passing also. Okay, in sequence diagram we'll be having an synchronized message. Okay, so you know what is a synchronized message? Is nothing but a sender will be waiting for a receiver to complete his process, then only the sender will be passing a message. That type of message is called as a synchronized message. Okay, in sequence, how do you represent it? Actually, I'll be representing with an line with a very bold arrow like this only. Okay, so the arrow will be filled actually. Here also the same one. Fine. So if it is going to be a asynchronous message, okay, what is asynchronous message? Is nothing but a sender does not waits for a receiver to complete the process. Before the receiver complete the process, it's keep on sending the message. That is called as asynchronous message. Okay. In sequence, how we'll be representing it actually? A line, okay, with a normal arrow. The arrow will not be filled, but you can see in collaboration diagram, this is what the arrow for it. It's very different. Okay, then we have a type called as instantaneous messages. Okay, in our sequence diagram. Okay, they somewhat look like the synchronous message. Okay, so why this instantaneous message comes based upon the time category. Okay, if it is a non-instantaneous messages, I'll be using a slanting arrow. Again, the arrow will be like this with an filled arrow. Fine. Then we have a found message in our sequence diagram and dark circle with an arrow. We saw this yesterday also, a found message. Okay. And if you want to return, okay, what you will do in sequence diagram, I'll be using a dashed line, okay, along with a normal arrow, the same like this. You can see here. Fine. This is what I'm returning in sequence in collaboration also. Okay, one new thing here is called as the flow of control. Fine, you can see the symbol, you can see the arrow here, a normal line, okay, with an normal arrow. Fine, this is not inside our sequence. Fine, we have a representation like this, but we call them as a synchronized message. Fine, so what is synchronized? Sender waits for the receiver. Okay, what is asynchronous? Sender doesn't wait for the receiver. Okay, what is instantaneous message? Is nothing but it's somewhat like a synchronous message. Okay, it depends upon the time. If there is a lag of time, I'll call it as a non-instantaneous message. It will be having a slanting line. Fine. So what is found message is nothing but a circle with an arrow. How do you return? A dashed line with an arrow. And extra we have here will be the flow of control. This flow of control doesn't have any logic here. It just have the message. It's going to just pass a message from the two objects. Fine. So these are the message flow notations. For our collaboration, these are the only 4 message passing notation. Fine. So next comes the type of message passing. So we saw yesterday, like we'll be using the fragments and all, conditional fragments and all, like OPT, ALT, and all those things in our sequence diagram. We will see what is there in our collaboration diagram. In collaboration, we have a normal thing like iterating. Nothing but if you want to run a message multiple times, I have to just indicate a star in it. Okay. So what happens? These messages will be run one or more times. How many times I need? Okay, that is one way of message passing. Fine. And the second way of message passing is giving some conditional messages, like giving a we have used a term called as guard. This guard is called as a condition. Fine. So these are the two ways I can represent my message passing for a collaboration. One, I can use a repetition, another I can use a conditional class here. Fine. We saw so many in our sequence diagram. Fine. So that is what the message is. Here is a small difference how the sequence diagram looks and how our collaboration diagram looks. Fine. So in sequence diagram, what is the main what to say advantages is time ordering. Okay, time ordering is nothing but its flow here, one by one, that flow. Fine. That we call it as a better time ordering. Okay, you can see here I have not used any number for the messages here. It's an optional for us in our sequence diagram. Okay, this flow itself tells us after this comes, then this, then what happens here again goes back. Okay, so we can easily identify the flow of our messages. So that is called as a better time ordering. But what happens in our collaboration is we don't have that much of what to say a very proper time ordering here. Okay, we have, because of one thing, our objects are not arranged. It will be here and there actually. We are just going to give a link. Okay, so what is the main advantage of this collaboration diagram is showing a relationship between the objects. Okay, so we are purely concentrating only about the two objects relationship, two objects message passing. That alone we are concentrating in our collaboration diagram. Fine. So if you have a scenario like if you have a problem, fine. So they're telling you to draw a collaboration diagram. So we have to pick all the objects first. So what will be the important one? Who will be the actor? For that alone, we have to draw a diagram. Okay. So for if I'm going to take two objects, what message I'll be passing between the two objects? What will be the main messages? That alone we have to list it and you have to draw it. Fine. So if you're going to draw this sequence diagram, this collaboration is very easier for us. You can draw this collaboration from a sequence diagram itself. Okay, we have a link, you can say. Fine. So that is what I said, like a number of messages here. Fine. So you can see in sequence diagram, I'll be having only a single message. In collaboration, I can have one or more messages. That is the meaning of this number of messages. Fine. So, and next one is creation and deletion here. Fine. So in our sequence diagram, what happens here, you'll be having a term called as lifeline. You can see this lifeline. Okay, this cross tells you the deletion of the object. This object work has been over, I'm deleting the object. Okay, but in our collaboration diagram, what happens? How do you delete this? Fine. So you don't show anything as a deletion in our collaboration diagram. Fine. So that is what, but I can tell by passing some messages. If I'm going to create a new thing, I'll be using a message for it. If I'm going to change something, I'll be using a message for it. Fine. We will see how this happens, like creating or deleting. For example, a good example I'll show here is, I'm taking the example of it. Fine. So in this example, you can see I'm using a different one called as create. Okay. So what is the meaning of this? I'm going to start an object. Okay. I'm going to initiate the object state. Okay. That tells me that I'm creating something. So that is the meaning create. Fine. Now, if I'm going to change the state of my object, then what I will do? I have to use a word called as become. Okay, along with the message flowing, I'll be using a term become. Fine. So you can see this here. Initial state is indicated by create. Okay, if I'm going to do some changes between the objects, or my object is going to change from one state to another state, I'll be using a message called as become along with my that arrow. Fine. So this is what done newly to our collaboration table. This is not under your sequence. Fine. So here we'll be explicitly telling about the what to say, object lifeline by using this arrows, this cross symbol and all. But here I'll be using a term like this. Okay, to tell about whether this object is there, has been started. So it purely tells about the object's changing state actually. Okay, this means that my object is there or not in the current state. Fine. So that's all about the collaboration diagram. Actually, here I'm seeing this. You can see that I'm using an object like contract. Okay, so it's trying to change the state from here to here, from pending to accepted. So I'm passing a message become. So this become keyword tells me I'm changing the object state. Fine. So this is an important thing under your collaboration. Fine. So while drawing a collaboration diagram, we will use all these properties and we'll draw a collaboration diagram. Fine. So these are general steps to draw the collaboration diagram. Fine. So till now it is understandable. Can you give me an okay message in your chat box? So I'll go for the steps. Yeah, okay, fine then. So we don't have that much so much specific and all for the steps actually. So we have to determine the scope actually. So what I'm going to draw. Okay, what is very important for us? Who will be the actor? What is the system? Okay, you can take this collaboration from the use case. You can take this collaboration concept from the sequence also. Fine. So main important one thing is there, we have to give priority to the objects. If the particular system has been have a higher priority, put this object in the center of your diagram. That is what's set here. Okay, we'll be identifying so many objects. Okay, in our going for drawing. Fine. So we have to identify which object is going to have a higher priority. Okay, most important object. So put that object in the center of the diagram. Okay, this is the only constraint for drawing this collaboration diagram. Okay, others you can just put like here and there. We don't have an order of this objects. Fine. Because I'm going to put this important in your center, it will be easy for us to draw in a proper and a clear way. Because we draw this collaboration to visualize the object relationship. That is more important in this. So we have to be correct in ordering the objects. Most important and the least one. We have to identify that. Fine. So then we have to give that message and what is the initial state of the message and in where I'm changing that. So you have to mention all those things. Fine, between the objects, and we have to provide a proper link, create a link between the objects. Okay, then create a message with the link. Okay, add a sequence number to the each message. Fine. So these are the steps for creating a collaboration diagram. Fine. So we'll see an example now. A simple example I have taken here. You can see we are not going to draw today. We'll draw in next class. I will draw and show you. I will take an example and draw and show you in next class. Here I've taken an example which is already drawn here. You can see a patient, a receptionist. Okay, so these are the two actors, and what and all will be their objects. Okay, like a patient list, what this person is going to do for unpaid bills, appointments. Okay, and I'm going to create an appointment here. Fine. So these are the objects here. Okay, so you can see the number here. I'm just putting a message along with the number like 1 2 3 6 7. So this actor will be communicating with all these objects. Okay, like looking up the patient of or creating a bill. Fine. It's a simple collaboration diagram. It's not that much difficult. It's very simple. Fine. So this is the way I'll be writing it. You can see the sequence number also differs here. We won't be using 1.1 and all. I'm using like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and all. So based upon the problem or a programming scenario, I can just change this numbers and all. but there should be a numbering for my message flow. Fine. So that's it about the collaboration diagram. Fine. So we'll finish it up with this. Fine. So next class we will try to draw. I'll bring an example. We'll try to draw the collaboration diagram in an elaborate way. Fine. So now it's your session. Can you give me the answer for this? We have 10 more minutes, so we'll discuss the QA sessions today. So what is the answer? Dash specifies a path to send and receive messages between two objects. Yeah, it's very simple question. So I'll be using a link. Okay, a link, a straight line, just a straight line. We call it as a link between the two objects. Superb. Thank you. Second question. An object-oriented program is structured as a community of interacting agents called what? Interacting agents. Yes. It's a community. Yeah, the answer is objects. Okay, the first one. Fine. So I'll be using the objects for the interacting here. So mainly the objects. Okay, then comes the classes also. I can mention it. But the priority given to the objects. Fine. I can also say classes. Fine. The option is missing here. It can be A and B, A or B. Fine. Good try. It's a general question. The third one is UML is useful to dash a system as it is or where we want it to be. Why do we go for this UML? I suppose the answer is Sanjay Charan, visualize. Just think the answer once again, Sanjay Charan. For everything, I'll be going for this UML. I need to visualize the what analysis into a document way in a clear design way. So I'll go for it. I need a clear specification. Okay, I need everything to be documented. So I go for this UML language. Okay, so you know this after analysis or after this we'll be going for a design part. That is what this. Okay, then the answer is going to be D. Thank you. Then the last one. Dash are used to create new building blocks from the existing blocks. We saw this term yesterday, a very new term. Let me see who is going to give the answer. I got two answers. What about others? Yeah, the option is going to be stereotypes, is going to be B. Fine. So we saw like a normal circle with an line or something like that. We saw so many different types of stereotypes. Okay, from the object, this will be created actually. Okay, we call this as for control or something like that. Fine. So the option is going to be B. Fine. So that's all for today's class. It's over. Fine. Thank you. Thank you all. If you have any doubts, you can just tell me now. Because you have 5 more minutes. Any doubts, students? Have you tried any sequence diagram? Because yesterday I thought sequence diagram. Have you given any try? Have you worked on it? Anybody? Shubha ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, you can interact with the students for a few minutes.
Yeah, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I will.
Completing the attendance.
Yeah.
One more thing. If you draw sequence diagram, you can
draw the collaboration also.
Get a collaboration diagram also in rational rows. I'm telling about rational rows. there is no need to draw two diagrams, but in other tools you have to draw two diagrams. You draw sequence diagram and you have to press F10 key. Then you will get the collaboration. Similarly, if you draw collaboration and pressing that key, you will automatically get the sequence diagram. Just you
Vice,
have it in your mind. You
like
continue
vice
for
versa.
2 minutes, Geetarani ma'am. I will
Uh,
give the utterance.
okay, ma'am, you can stop this, ma'am. Stop
Yes,
this
so
recording.
many absentees in B section. Yes, I will stop.
Yeah, yes, ma'am.